When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest samurai in the empire, and he was the shogun's decapitator. He cut off the heads of 131 lords for the shogun.
Will it take me under? I wanna be free to live, able to have what I need to live. Bring the power back to the street where the people live.
You living in the land of the blinded. Cats putting hours, never knowing what the time is.
Will it take me under?
You already know what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. It's your boy Nobi, and this is the Nast podcast. Smrrt.
2 more days, 2 more hours, 2 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 2 more days, 2 more hours, 2 more minutes, 2 more, need a few more. So Father, time, take some time for me, yeah. Right my side, and he close my eyes. I'm always waiting in my mind.
My next guest is an artist from the Tri-Cities. I learned about him through Karma Knows. He's very talented and creative and Playsian. It's my pleasure to introduce Nobi.
Ever since my genesis, I have been so super. Turbo on the graphics, my antics cause a stupor. Young street fighter reaching out like I'm Dawson. Slug down my art travels with no button for the pausing. Yeah, even Mike Tyson getting punched out. Major paper boy is the goal, get the funds out. Watching out for Pac-Man, always with the pitfalls. Lakers versus Celtics, countdown to the tip ball, man. NBA jam in my brain scan. 720 spinning, other suckers hitting face plants.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm with a very special guest.
Yeah.
The one and only Nobi.
Yes,
That's right?
sir. Mm-hmm.
There we go. I didn't want to be like newbie. It was wrong.
Yeah, it stands for Never Obey Blind Individuals.
Oh shit, is that on your shirt? That's filthy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude.
like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Shinobi,
Yeah.
it's all that.
Dude, and I listened to your music catalog. They got that Blind song. Dude, Father Time's probably one of my favorite songs you made.
Thank you.
And that visual for the music video.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my God.
what do we call it, the visualizer?
That was crazy, dude.
We shot that, it's all local. We went to Bellevue, there's a clock shop out there. What was it called? Shout out to Boyd's Clocks.
Boyd's Clocks, there
Bruh,
we go.
expensive.
I bet.
I didn't want to touch anything, bruh. I was crazy.
How do you get that? How do you like go into a shop and be like, okay, I'm gonna shoot a music video here?
I mean, we kind of just went there, man, and just shot the shot.
Oh,
like,
shit.
hey, man, you guys got a bunch of clocks. We made this song about time. We were wondering if we could take some photos in here, and they were super about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think they get bored.
Yeah,
And so they
I
were
bet.
just like, yeah, like, come through. We got this clock. This clock is at 12. It goes like this, and like with the bird comes out and stuff. Like, bruh, I didn't realize clocks were that deep.
Yeah,
You know
see?
what I'm saying?
People are passionate about random ass shit. And
Fire.
I think it's the artist's job and the media's job to pull that out of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much content, especially in Seattle.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, and it's really, man, I think these local businesses, they want to fuck with artists, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But they're not gonna go out and ask the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go out there
Yeah.
and approach them. And you don't even have to like be super professional with it. You know, like we didn't have to send them anything. I literally walked in and asked. And
Shit.
so, yeah, manifest stuff, asking,
Yes.
receive.
That's what I'm all about. The worst thing that can happen if you ask someone, they say no. That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying? And then you go to the next clock shop.
Next clock shop. Exactly. That shit's huge, though. I don't feel like enough people. That's part of the grind too, just meeting people. I don't feel like some people are too afraid or think that just the listener is just gonna push them forward. You need more than just the listeners, because you don't know who those listeners are.
Mm-hmm.
You need a strong structure, support system.
Facts.
Connecting with the locals. That's the hugest part. You don't even they don't even have to like your music, but the fact that they've worked with you.
Yeah, and you don't even like it like doesn't even have to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, this guy, he owns a coffee business. You know, why would I talk to him? And like, who was it that just got caught? I think it's Martial Law Band. Shout out to them. They just got like their own coffee.
Oh,
you know, so like, just meet everyone, because you honestly just never know how you could collaborate.
And there's some big players coming out of Seattle right now, like 100%.
Facts. We're sizzling.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think your ethnicity is interesting. You said you're black and Asian, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm a quarter Vietnamese, a quarter white, and half black.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You're probably the first and only Blasian I'll probably have on the podcast. So you make a world record for that. There.
Yeah, you gotta get damn, who else is Blasian in a rap? Tyga.
Oh, Tyga, yes.
Shout out to him.
Have Tyga and Tiger Woods on the same.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Do you think that puts you on an advantage or disadvantage, or how do you look at that?
In terms of like being an artist?
Yeah.
I don't know if it necessarily gives you an advantage or a disadvantage. I think it helps me be a little unique in the sense that like I can speak for like people that are mixed.
Yeah.
And people that don't necessarily fit in one box or the other, you know, when they're applying for a job. I think we need more of that in hip hop, and just culturally in general, because that's really what the future is, right?
Yeah.
Mixed people. And,
It is. 100%.
you know, like I can't remember what the stat is, but in the next 20, 30 years, you
everyone's
know,
gonna be
everyone's
mixed.
going to be mixed. So I don't know if that gives me an advantage necessarily, but
Right.
I definitely try to speak for those people and myself as often as I can.
If you have kids, that's gonna be the craziest combination.
As fuck. I'm trying to hold off though.
Yes, see,
I'm holding off.
I agree with that. I think, like, I was talking. A lot of artists I've talked to about this. Like, I think for me, and then if you don't have kids yet, because
Yeah.
like the passion, you need to put all your passion into your music, and then
Facts.
it's like once you have a family or anything like that, it's not a bad thing, but then your passion becomes like the
Priorities
second thing.
change, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Then you start living through your kids. you know,
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that, because like that's what my dad did. He is a rapper.
Oh.
And you know, right around my age, he was doing the same things I was doing, and then, you know, he had kids and went through a bunch of life stuff, and now he gets to live like those artist dreams through me.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't necessarily mean that he's out here like grinding and making all the plays trying to be a rapper anymore. You know what I'm saying? So having kids is as much of a blessing as it would be. I'm trying to hold off, bro, because I got to make this rap shit work.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You're starting to find a lot of older rappers now lately. Like a lot of people are blowing up after they're 30 or shit like that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Action Bronson I think was like 32,
Yeah.
33.
Dude. And then I think who is it? One of the members from Griselda's like Benny, he's 35.
Yep.
I'm like, shit.
It's the internet, bruh.
Yeah. Google's your friend, bruh.
It is. Excuse me.
But I think that Seattle I think it's doing everything that needs to happen right now. I think the media needs to be better, but like the artists are all making the right moves.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting easier for me to find people who are really passionate, because I've started to notice that the really passionate people actually end up knowing one another. So I'm like, okay, I'm never been the type of person, even in school, to like stick to one friend group or anything.
Oh yeah.
I think that's kind of
drifter.
weird. Yeah, but I think
Same.
it's fine. Yeah,
Same.
I think that builds you in life. You know, you need to know other people because if you're going off like living somewhere else, that might be harder for you to meet other people if you're used to this type. But I think it's not really just focusing on one group, but like I like to generalize things. So I think passionate people is a huge category, but it is easy to find people that are talented. Like interviewing Carmen Knows, I was like, oh shit, wait, he's made songs with Nobi, and you said that you guys are fucking roommates?
Yeah, bro, that's my best friend.
What? How did that even come to be?
So we're both. He's from Chicago, but he pretty major portion of his life was spent in Tri-Cities, where I'm from. And we went to the same high school. We were weights partners. And so we were in weights class, lifting, like curling, you know. And I think I was in the lunchroom and I was freestyling. We had like a little cypher circle. And like I didn't even know he rapped, you know what I'm saying? He was just my curl partner. And he came through and just ethered it, but just ate. And I was like, we gotta work together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Little like 10th grade Nobi, like, yo, we gotta work together. We used to have do you remember the iPod Nanos?
Yes. Oh my god.
With the video camera on the back,
yes.
bro. So we used to we both had one, and we would like we would rap over a beat and like record it, and then convert the video file to an audio file, and then like send it to each other on shit. I can't even remember what I used, bro. I think it was like Studio One or some shit. And like that's how we first started working together, and then man, the rest is kind of history from there. He did his first mixtape, I think, also right around 10th or 11th grade, and I don't know, man. In Tri-Cities, there's creative people, but the pool is a lot smaller. They're small towns. And so we used to just kick it and rap in his garage for just hours and hours and hours and hours. And yeah, man, we've been homies for like a long time, long time. I think probably going on a decade.
Oh shit.
Yep.
How'd you end up here in Seattle?
So my dad lived in Tacoma. I grew up in Tri-Cities, and I graduated high school. Moved up there with him, went to Tacoma Community College, finished that. I think I was there two and a half years, and then I moved back to Tri-Cities once I graduated, and I just hadn't seen family out there for a long time, so I was kind of being with them, hanging out with my grandparents a lot, and I think I spent 8 or 9 months out there, and then another Tri-City homie out here, Samurai Dell, he's a producer, shout out to him.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I went to his house to listen to some beats,
Yeah.
and we were talking. He was like, man, I need a roommate, and I was like, word. And then I went over there to listen to beats, and I walked out with like an application to his house.
Oh shit.
And then after that, I think I've been here, this is going on my 3rd year.
Oh wow.
Wow, I haven't thought about that. So yeah, that's kind of how I made it out here. Just like I was out here so often working with people that it made sense for me to make the move from Tri-Cities to here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else was I collaborating with super heavy at the time. I was working with Sultans a lot back then. I was working with the Digital a ton.
Yeah.
And we kept running into like, yo, I can't go to this event because I live 4 hours away. You know what I'm saying? So when Samurai Dell was like, yo, I need a roommate, I was just like, saw the opportunity and was like, let's go, attack. But yeah, that's how I got out here. What happened after that? We were in West Seattle for like a hot minute, and then once the lease was up there, we bounced to Skyway.
Okay.
So that's where we're at now,
Yeah.
Skyway.
That's where Ellis Prescott is.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Small world.
Dude, his I think it's his cousin. I interviewed both them together. His cousin's name is literally his stage name is Skyway J.
Skyway J, that's fire.
But yeah, that's actually a crazy story. I was about to ask how far away Tri-Cities is. I've never been
It's
there.
3.5 hours east. It's very conservative.
Yeah.
As soon as you get over the mountain, there's a there's a giant Trump sign.
Fuck.
Like very fucking red.
Damn. So how do you like it out here then versus Tri-Cities?
I have so much love for Tri-Cities because like it's a great place to grow, like be a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like crime is fairly low, schools are nice, but like they're getting better with culture and more people of culture are moving out there. But for a long time, I just felt like starving for that, and so being out here and like.
It's abundance.
Yeah, and there's people of color everywhere. I'm not related to like all the black people in the town. You know what I'm saying? And it's really like that in Tri-Cities, bro.
Oh my God.
I graduated with 4 other black people. 2 of them were my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So like coming out here and like not to get like into some deep like psychological stuff, but being out here and being around so many people of color, I didn't realize that like when you grow up as a person of color around all like majority white people, you like put on like a face for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
You
know what you
act
mean.
a certain way, behave a certain way. And when I came out here and it was just like people of color everywhere being themselves, I didn't even know how to do that, bro. I was
Yeah.
like scared and nervous. I had hella anxiety all the time, especially in college. And it's just been super, super cool getting to like realize that stuff and kind of take the mask off and just not be afraid to be myself, I guess.
Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Do people think you're black when they look at you?
Sometimes I get everything, bro. I get Mexican, I get Filipino
You
a
look
lot.
Japanese to me,
I get
'cause you have a long face, man.
Mm-hmm. And then the facial hair like
Yes!
fucks everybody up, bro.
Oh God.
Yeah, I get what are you a lot.
What are you?
Yeah. And it's like I don't even trip on it anymore because most people are like, I don't mean to be rude, but I just like what are you, bro?
But yeah, I think you look like a pretty woke guy, honestly.
Thank you.
I feel like some people try to say woke is a bad word, but I don't. When it comes to hip hop and stuff, I think it's like a total compliment, you know?
For sure, for sure.
And your music, oh, it's insane.
Thank you.
What made you like coming from? I guess you can say Tri-Cities is probably not culturally woke at the time when you were growing up.
Yeah.
How did you learn all this stuff and be able to translate it into music?
Man, really through family. I feel like I'm woke, quote unquote, because like my parents were.
Yeah.
My dad, my mom, my stepdad, all of my siblings. I grew up in a really like what's the word? We were just exposed to a lot of culture.
Right.
And I'd make trips back and forth to Seattle or to Tacoma to see my dad,
Yeah.
you know, during the summer. And I think it really stems from that and the lessons that they taught us early, as well as college. College helped me out a lot, just because I'd never been around like foreign exchange people before. They put me on to hella, and you were saying earlier how you like kind of jumped from group to group to group to group friend wise. I was the same way.
Yeah.
Like I just had homies everywhere and everything, and I don't know, man. I don't know how you like get woke. You just kind of are. You
I
know?
guess so. I think your ethnicity makes you woke as fuck though. Being black and Asian, that's insane.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about like the Asian side. I really want to go to Vietnam.
Oh shit, I'll go with you, man. Me, you, and Karma.
Let's do it, bro. Let's just plan a whole tour.
Yes, holy shit.
You know, does Vietnam have rappers?
Maybe. You could probably find Jay Park there.
He's is he Korean?
I'm guessing. I think he's Korean.
I think he's Korean. Shout out to him, man. Jay Park's amazing.
Yeah, how is that? Dude, he's got like millions of followers and he's from Seattle. Like, that's insane.
I was playing Madden the other day. He has a song on Madden.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
bro.
my god.
With Hit Boy. Like I can't remember what I was doing, but I remember like the track popped up and I was like, holy fuck, it's Jay Park. So shout out to him for sure.
Yeah. Damn. Do you think that like who do you decide who you're gonna work with? Like who Like, how do you know your worth when it comes to working with people?
How do I know my worth
Yeah.
in terms of like? Do I charge people and stuff like
Not
that?
even like charge, like the right same energy even, because like I don't know. I can definitely. It takes me like 30 seconds to figure out if someone's like really genuine about what they're doing. It doesn't even have to be music. But,
Yeah.
like, you can just sense it. You know.
Yeah. For me, I'll work with anybody, bro. Like to be honest, I like to like kick it with artists before we make music together.
Yeah.
I like to lately, because it's as an artist things change all the time, but lately I've kind of liked stepping into other like artist world and just kind of seeing what inspires them,
Yeah.
and trying to see if what inspires them also can inspire me. And so like I want to step into their world and like build a song the way they build a song. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's what really inspires me right now, is just like learning to create songs in different ways, and like learning how people write. You know, that's like I'm what's the word? I guess a technician. You know, I really like getting behind the bars and like the syllabics behind how people write, and that's like what makes me like, holy cow, this shit is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think, like, what have you learned from your dad, from him being a rapper? Like, what mistakes have you learned from? What has he done well that you can take away from?
I think consistency is probably the biggest thing, to be like transparent. We dropped a project last year.
Oh, together?
It's called Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely, please do.
Yeah.
It's, have you heard of Lone Wolf and Cub? Not us, but like
Thundercat made it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Like that whole album, I think
Oh, I'm
shit, I can't remember what the name
I'm
of the
this
album was.
close to getting an interview with them. They've been responding to me, so it's back and forth right now.
Yeah.
But if I nail that, I hope because he's coming in March, so
Bruh, wow.
he's fucking
That's
insane.
idol. Idol.
He's crazy as shit. Like,
Yeah.
anyone who's able to land like an advertisement or a small video on Adult Swim is doing something.
Way right. So he dropped a song called Lone Wolf and Cub, and the music video was all samurai themed.
Yes, that
Lone
was
Wolf and Cub comes from an old Japanese manga. Excuse me, about in a samurai who's like really, really good at what he does, but he works for an evil shogun, and the shogun's worried that the samurai is going to turn on him and like try to kill him. So he kills the samurai's wife and like just like slaughters her in front of him, and then the samurai swears to like hunt down the shogun and all his fucking henchmen and his crew, and he does it with his son. His son's like 3 or 4, and so the manga is basically them going across Japan, fucking motherfuckers up, and like being a father and son together.
Yeah.
And that's where Lone Wolf and Cub comes from.
Got it.
So Pops and I, being that we watched hella kung fu movies together, so it just kind of seemed like it fit. And what was it? There's one more thing with Lone Wolf and Cub. What was it? Oh, you fuck with like the RZA, Wu-Tang, and all of them.
Wu-Tang. Inspector Deck, RZA, the
Yeah,
RZA.
so you know, like Liquid Swords,
Yeah.
when he's like, my father, like that long ass intro, that's from Shogun Assassin, which is, Shogun Assassin is an old 70s kung fu movie based on Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay.
They're like the same title, basically.
Yeah.
So like, Lone Wolf and Cub has just been a hip hop, one of those weird hip hop things, or obscure, I should say. It's not weird. And that's why we chose to draw that name out. But yeah, we dropped that project in August of 2018.
Huh.
Yeah, we dropped it in 2018. It's 2020 now. It's crazy.
I need to check
So
that
it's a year and a couple months old.
out. Okay. Yeah. I've still, like, I talked to someone about this, like King Dow. He was like a guy interviewed.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
He was talking a bit about it a little bit, but I still don't really understand, because I guess to a certain extent I love like samurai shit too. Like there's this one video game that came out. It was like Samurai something that came out like last year, and it was like Death Soul. It was like Dark Souls, but like a samurai version.
Oh, Sekiro.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
game's hard as fuck.
Yeah, dude, that's like one of my favorite games I have.
Oh my gosh, dude! You know the you like climb up that super tall building, and then he's like the samurai guy with the bow, and then you basically have to fight him twice.
Oh shit.
And then he's got like lightning powers the second phase of the fight.
Yeah, you have to buy that shit or like find like the lightning protecting juice or whatever.
And then like the counter, so when he strikes you, you can like deflect it.
Yeah. That
Bruh.
game's hard as fuck.
Yeah, I'd never beat that.
But it's shit like that. Like, I still don't get, like, you can kind of say it, but like black people like love fucking Japanese shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why though?
Man, it's because like I feel like the things that those movies and like all of that lore, the things they teach, that applies to us not only as black people but like just people. It's life philosophies. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are super disciplined. You know, they also like kind of tell you to like, even if everybody else is telling you like not to do that shit, if you feel like that shit is right, then you got to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, there's action in it. You know, who didn't watch Power Rangers, bro?
Shit,
You know what I'm
dude.
saying?
I thought Power Rangers were real, and then until I was like 9 or 10, so it was a little late too, and my mom had to tell me they weren't, and I was devastated. I dead ass thought they were real.
Damn. Bro, you ever used to like fight with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I had the Naruto bandanas too and shit. I had all Naruto and Power Rangers were my thing.
I couldn't get with Naruto, bro, because the whole believe it thing.
What was that?
He used to say believe it all the time in the show.
Huh.
Like
don't remember
early when it first came out. Like I think when he was a kid.
His voice was just annoying. That's what my family hated about it. They'd make me turn it off if I was watching in front of them.
Believe it.
He's like, "Ah!" He had a bitch ass voice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I fucked with Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah.
That was my show.
Adult Swim in general is fucking fire. All their shows. So I also noticed like you're a pretty like creative guy when it comes visually. Like, what makes you decide to like? What was that one you literally? I just watched it the other day, where Karma like has like these arrows or something in his chest and like the opening.
Oh shit. Was that Lone Wolf and Cub?
Was it?
Was it Street Fighter?
I forget the title of it. But you like the video opens up with him like stumbling and there's like blood on either side of his chest.
Yeah, that's my dad. My dad's the other guy in the video.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Really, with that video in particular, me and Pops kind of co-wrote it.
Yeah.
And then Justin Frick, shout out to him, also from Tri-Cities.
Okay.
Just kind of ran with the concept we had. I don't even know like if I could place what we drew the inspiration from. The song is obviously like super aggressive, braggadocious, just kind of like talking our shit. And yeah, man, we just wanted to make like a Kung Fu Kill Bill type vibe. You know, that was what we sent him, like the scene in Kill Bill where everything is like blue.
Okay.
And they're fighting with those giant they're fighting in front of those giant screens that people change behind. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember that scene.
It's like
I remember the anime scene. That scene was dope.
the anime scene is fire. We gotta find an animator, bro. There's gotta be an animator somewhere.
Yes. That's the thing. I feel like there's probably it doesn't even matter like if it's like an Indian guy or the most awkward guy ever. There's so many talented people in Seattle, but I feel like you said also, it's like kind of hard to like find them unless you reach out to them because they're not gonna be like.
They're here.
They are here.
They're here.
Got Microsoft and all this.
There's too many tech companies here for there not to be an animator, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That likes hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
There's gotta be one. We searching.
But yeah, Kill Bill. That's probably one of my favorite movies too. I think overall, like if you don't like, you can definitely they're definitely back to back movies. They just chopped it in half. But I think like it could have easily been a movie I could have watched all the way through, both.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
because they cut it in half, I kind of like the first one better.
I like the first one just because there's more action.
Yeah.
But if you're going for like dialogue
Mm-hmm.
and plot, the second one is so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
In the end, when she used that move on him,
Man, I hope they work it out with the third one.
yeah.
Because have you heard about that? Like Uma Thurman and Tarantino.
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
keep talking about all that type of stuff. Yeah. I just watched for the first time yesterday. I binged both. There's this movie called 28 Days Later and then 28 Weeks Later. I just
28
watched,
Days Later is like one of the best zombie movies of all time.
yeah. So I just watched those for the first time. And because like what I've started to notice, because now that I'm more into like involved with the media industry and stuff, I started to notice that I like the people behind the movies or behind the music, producers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, like everyone knows who like Steven Spielberg is, but it's not like I was like, oh, Steven Spielberg movies. But now like I always like look up, of course, and Quentin Tarantino, everyone knows him. But nowadays I find myself actually like looking for directors sometimes over like the actors in the movie. Same when it comes like to producers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people, like producers and those guys get enough love.
No, for sure. Or like the Foley workers, like the people that make the sound effects
Yeah.
in the movies.
All that stuff.
Ultra important. You don't have the movie without it.
Right.
And that's something I've actually found myself going down the rabbit hole with too, is like cinematographers.
Yeah.
Foley is my big one because I want to get into that. You know, like who doesn't want to make sound effects
Yeah.
every day?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need this guy. He's going to get his head chopped off. We need a sound for that. Like, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's dope to me.
Yeah.
And you're right. They don't get enough love because they really make the movie. And directors too, screenplay writers, like all of them. And that's why movies are beautiful, because they take so much
Yeah.
different people inspired by different things all coming together to like make beautiful art.
I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day, and he was like, he pointed out that how weird it is that how we've got accustomed to there being music in movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I started to notice that too. Like, why the fuck is there music? But like, it draws you in more.
Sometimes, like, I feel like, especially when it's sad,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to tell me that it's sad by playing sad music.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on, I guess, what they're doing. But I see that in TV all the time. Like, let me think, like The Walking Dead, like the later seasons of The Walking Dead. They're like, oh, this guy's dead. We're gonna play this sad acoustic song. And I don't know. Sometimes it comes across as corny,
Yeah.
but it's in there. They're in movies all the time.
It's weird though. I don't know. Like it also comes down to like the production of the movie. Like some good movies, no, you don't need to put that extra shit in. I think my favorite, because I just watched it, so now of course it's my favorite thing. But like in 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, they use like the same riff when something huge is about to happen and like it's a fucking build up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I haven't really seen that in a movie where they use the same one over and over. And that was fucking insane.
They do that in like, have you ever seen The Shining?
Yeah, okay.
Like movies, usually they're kind of longer,
Yeah.
but they have like the scenes with like tension in them. I could definitely, I don't know like the facts or like the science or the stats behind it, but I could definitely see like those high tension scenes, if you're playing like a familiar riff, like why
Yeah.
that would give you more tension, because you're supposed to know how the riff goes, right?
Yeah.
So like any change from that riff then is gonna provide more, it's gonna give your audience more tension. You're gonna be like, oh shit, like why don't they just play the note? You know what I'm saying?
Or they do that with like special characters, like Darth Vader has that always opening thing or anything like
The
that.
Death March.
But I think all that stuff is pretty interesting to me, you know. But I guess you're also you make beats also, right? Because like you have that in your catalog and stuff.
Yeah.
What did you start first? Did you start rapping first? Because you said you were with Karma.
So my family is super musical. My dad was a rapper. My mom's a singer. My stepdad was jazz player, saxophone player. My siblings, like, have you heard of like Top and Yell? Oh, those are my siblings, and
Wait, who are they though?
they also make music. They're both rappers.
Huh.
Really rappers and singers. I don't know if you can like categorize
Right.
the type of music they make.
I'll check them out.
They're super dope. Yeah, I think you would like them. My sister was a dancer, is a dancer. like everyone in my family, bro. My
Yeah.
grandma's a gospel singer. Like everyone makes music, and so like I just grew up rapping. You know, like that. I didn't know any different. I think I probably wrote my first song like first or second grade, and then recorded maybe third. I think either third or fifth grade. It's one of the odd grades. Can't remember.
That's young as fuck though. The hell?
But like I don't think I was doing it seriously till I graduated high school, and I find myself saying like I'm not doing it I do that. I find myself saying that a lot. Like I didn't take music seriously until this. It's really like a yearly thing because you learn how to grind more efficiently, better. And so you're like, oh man, 2 years ago I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah. But like that's really just life, you know. None of us know what the fuck we're doing.
Exactly.
Ever. But yeah, I think I started seriously quote unquote rapping in like 2013 2014 and I think I really started getting into beats like 2017 2018. It's more recent.
What made you get into it though?
It just makes you a better rapper, man.
Yeah.
Like if the more like music theory I feel like that you have, and the more that you know, like the more like music terms, or like the more you get ingrained with that process of like production and engineering, the better you're able to articulate yourself to another engineer. And so the more art you make, the more music you make without using vocals also helps you build better vocals.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see you collaborating with like Steve Aoki.
Bro, I'll work with whoever. Let's do it.
So when you started like making beats, do you feel like you were able to express yourself differently through beats also though, or was it more just to build up your music category?
For sure. I'm weird, man. Like I make a lot of beats that like I don't even think people can rap on. You know, like
They're soundtrack beats at that point.
yeah, I just like making music.
Yeah.
So you're definitely able to express yourself differently producing a song as opposed to like rapping or singing on one. It's a much different vibe, and I go through like phases now where like I'll only want to make beats or I'll only want to rap. It's just up and down.
Right. Do you know much about like the business side towards music, and if you do, how'd you learn that type of stuff?
I'm always learning. Big asterisk there. Really trial and error, man. And like soaking game from people that have accomplished more in the music field, you know, or like made more money out of the music field. I'm always trying to like just soak, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So finding those artists that you click with, and then just like asking them questions, man.
Yeah.
And then Pops has been a huge resource with that stuff too. He ran a podcast called Razor Tongue Radio for, I want to say 2 or 3 years straight.
Wow.
If Pops is or when Pops watches this, if I got it wrong, I'm sorry. But he ran it for a while straight, and it was nothing but Northwest hip hop that he would go out there and find, and he got an LLC with all that and stuff. So lately, that's what we've been talking about, is how to like legitimize Nobi and make sure motherfuckers don't steal my name or something like that. But it's really
name right now. I like it.
Thank you. It's trial and error. Lots of YouTube, man. The information is out there. Whatever you want to know, you just have to like go and access it and not be afraid to ask questions, because everybody hasn't been in the same position you're in, but like a lot of us creatives, you know, we all have to start like down here. You know what I'm saying? And so like not feeling ashamed, like not knowing stuff, and really like not being afraid to like speak up and ask clarifying questions, or take a class. You know what I'm saying? They got business classes on that now. So in answer to your question, I learned from everywhere.
What do you get out of music?
What do I get out of music? Therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for me. I'll like be going through something, and just being able to like, whatever I'm going through, leaving it in that sound file or like that recording.
Yeah.
And like leaving it there, and that's where it stays. That's like everything for me.
Yeah.
You know, that really like levels me out and keeps me sane. I talk about this with my homies all the time. Like when I get sad or like depressed, like I want to be alone, because usually I'll write that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I really try to leave like whatever I'm feeling on the page or in the beat or something. So for sure, therapy.
Right. What are your goals with music? Like, what have you accomplished right now, and what are your future goals with it?
What have I accomplished right now? I've done a lot of shows, man.
Yeah, that's important. Shows are
a lot
important.
of shows. We got on Ear Milk last year. We got on Ebro last year.
Really?
Yeah. He's got his Beats One.
Oh shit.
I don't know if it's a podcast or a playlist, but we got on there. He's like said the song title and everything. Yeah, it was dope, man. It was dope.
Damn.
I was at my laptop like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Had some amazing shows last year. Most recently, I released a song called Entity.
Okay.
And we had like a release party for it at the House of Breaking Glass. It's this shout out to Philip Peterson. He's like a Grammy nominated strings player, because he plays them all. And he's got this crazy studio. It's like it's an old movie theater.
Oh shit.
So it's got seats all like in there. He's got a big ass projector screen, but you also can perform there. You know, it's a music studio,
yeah.
and he's got a control room, and so we got a bunch of food. Had all the people that worked on the video there. Did a live set. Had 50 people. Made it super exclusive. Had 50 people come, and just kind of rocked it, man. It was really, really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. And that was probably, I think, most recently I can't say my biggest, but it was my favorite accomplishment.
Yeah.
For sure. This year I'm trying to get this album out. That's the big goal. I'm trying to get an album out, and I'm trying to get it out soon.
Yes.
So next couple months, definitely look out for stuff from me. That's like the big goal, is to push my first solo album.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you and Karma? If you're not, you should make like a duo album where it's just you two.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. We kind of, for a long time, it was Nobi and Karma, and Karma, doing every show together. We had a song way back in the day called Compadres that everybody was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yes.
But we don't want to be like Mob Deep, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's another person who's coming to town. I've been trying to reach out to.
Havoc.
He's coming to town.
Yeah. I'm trying to meet up with him too,
Yes.
bro.
Let's do it together.
Good God. Yes, let's do it. But yeah, we don't want to be like a duo. You know, we're our own people. We make very, very, very different music.
Right.
But we also like happen to make great music together.
You can be like bad meets evil sometimes. You know, shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So really, just we want to push our independent brands a little more, and then once the buzz is a little higher, then we'll drop that collab album.
Do you guys critique each other or help each other out on that?
Oh, of course, every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. It's so cool, man. The studio is like, we have a home studio, and so if I'm not in it, he's in it. If he's not in it, I'm in it. You know, and like yesterday actually, I made a beat. I made a beat, and then I went to a meeting, or I had a meeting in the house, and he went to the studio. He was writing, and he was like, "Yo, I really like these drums, like on like some beat on YouTube."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, I just made something just like this," and then like pulled it up on Logic, and then played it for him, and then I left, and like I didn't know what he was gonna do, but like he definitely like wrote to that shit and recorded to it, and then I went back to work on the beat, and I hit play and I started listening, and his verse just like came through, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? And so it's always like that, you know. Just we're both like really working hard to like get better at engineering and recording and stuff. So we critique, we'll help each other, we'll change stuff. We have a very collaborative atmosphere, I guess.
What do you get out of the city? Like, what inspires you about
Seattle?
Yeah.
It's a melting pot, man. Like, even just look at the music, you know, there's so many different walks of music. You have like the martial law band on like the positive grind, and then you got like Macintosh, like the polar opposite of that, and like get super grimy. You have King Youngblood, formerly Gypsy Temple, like keeping rock alive. You know what I'm saying? There's EDM producers out here.
Millennium, bro.
There's neo soul, there's jazz, there's so many different artists, and we're finally at a time where everybody wants to work together. And that's like these next couple of years is where all like the most beautiful music is gonna come. I'm so like that's what I'm really excited for. And what I get out of the city, man, is just the atmosphere here. Musically is crazy. Seattle sessions were crazy.
Yeah, I heard so much
You know
about
what I'm
it.
saying? Like, shout out to Chase for that, man. I've never, ever been in a place where so many different artists want to like just work together. And I think that's what's gonna take Seattle out of here.
And there's tons of people, like I keep telling people, there's so many people that love to visit Seattle too. Like I went to the Wale show. Wale's always here. You can go to any venue.
He records out here.
Yeah. Shit like that. Like people don't even realize that. And I think the way Seattle's looking right now, it can definitely be like the next music hotspot. I don't think it ever can reach the level of LA because it's so big, or like Atlanta. But it's definitely going to start being in the news. People will be like, when they start listing off music hotspots, they're going to start saying Seattle. You know.
I mean, it's interesting infrastructure-wise because there's it's like a big sandbox right now. You know, there's so much that these other cities have that like Seattle doesn't have, but it's not because like Seattle can't make that shit. It's just like somebody just hasn't done it yet. You know, like what's the big LA radio station? LA Leakers. You know, they've got LA Leakers. New York has goddamn Funk Flex. You know what I'm saying?
And the Breakfast Club.
And the Breakfast Club. Oh, there's a bunch of them. What does Seattle have? You know what I'm saying?
92.5.
Yeah, 92 point. And like,
but they're still, those aren't even like, they're like in other, like 92.5 is like in other cities also around the world. But it's still not like to the level that you're going to hear about 92.5 or 93.3 in the news. And that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. I want to make like an empire. You know, that's what
like,
we need.
And the market is there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, I think Seattle will get there, but it just takes people being determined and maintaining and sustaining the collaborative atmosphere that we have right now. That's what's really gonna, I think, take us out of here, because everybody that we like right now is just grinding super hard independently. You know, Martial Law Band, Macintosh, whoop-de-whoop-de-wop. They're all like, they all dope, and they all work with other people, but independently they're pushing themselves. So when they come together, the network is gonna double, like with whatever they try to push out of that. So I think maintaining that is what's going to like have people start looking here more often. I don't know, man. I've never felt like Seattle's about to pop. Except like maybe like back when like Morgang and Dave B were sizzling. I think that was like 2013, 2014.
Did you hear his new album, that Closed Sessions album he was on?
Dave B? No.
That came out 3 weeks ago now or something like that.
Okay.
That shit was fire. You should listen
Dave
to
is
that.
amazing, bro.
But that's another thing that's fucking weird. Even Dave B, even though like he's successful as fuck now, there's like just the normies, I like to call him, like people just in Seattle, they don't know him. which is weird to me. Like, there's so many people popping off in Seattle, and then, like, if you're not part of the music scene or aren't dating someone in the music scene or anything like that, you don't know who these people are.
Yeah, it's like getting that coverage, you know, that like news coverage, you know, that people get in LA, Atlanta, New York. Building that is going to be super important.
Yeah.
I think. And I mean, the internet has really changed everything too, because like people like that, they don't have to stay here. You know, they could get big in Turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
that's another thing. That's what people need to start doing too. Like in Seattle, you can build your audience here, but build it outside of Seattle too. Like,
of course.
Even out of the fucking country, that's a huge audience.
I think the artists that really pop off, they leave, bro.
Yeah.
You know, they have to.
They have to.
Because when you leave, like, because everybody's watching, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's always watching, but when you leave and you're not here every day anymore, and people are looking at their Instagram and you're doing, like, whatever, you know, like, cool shit somewhere else, and you come back, they're going to be like, oh, he's really doing it now. Yes. She's really doing it now. Let me tap in. You know, I really believe that shit. So, you have to leave. You have to build your brand in other areas and other markets.
And it is a brand. That's what people need to realize too.
Yeah. Being like at this point, yeah, for sure.
You know what I don't see that I think people need to start doing? Somehow fucking collaborating with these big people in Seattle, like fucking Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or anything like that. I don't see anyone like reaching out to those
Tapping
people.
into Amazon.
Yeah. That's like right there. And like, or shooting a music video in the biosphere. Oh shit.
I mean, man, like if I knew how, I would have done it already. I think that's coming too, like these big corporations taking notice of artists, because artists, like we are the shapers of the culture.
Yeah.
You know,
hip hop is the total shaper.
Yeah, exactly. We're the creators of the cool shit. And so these companies, I think, are starting to realize that. At least here, I feel like companies in other places know that shit already. But like, I feel like those higher end companies like Amazon, I don't know, Expedia, Microsoft, I think they're really gonna start tapping in.
Yeah.
With the local presence here.
Costco even.
Costco, dude. Yeah. Any of them. Because once again, like, they're here. They're right in our backyard. But it's a matter of, like, getting in front of the right person.
Does Amazon have a record label yet? Because I feel like that's going to
Amazon?
probably be... Yeah. That should be something already, I feel like.
They might. They might. I know people that have been pushed on, like, Amazon Music before.
Yeah.
I want to say Paris Alexa.
Okay.
I think she had like a big Amazon Music push.
I want to get her on here.
I can't remember. Shout out to her. She's amazing, man.
Isn't that a thing that there's not really like record labels out here?
There's a few. There's Sub Pop. I wish I knew the names of the other ones, but I'm drawing blanks. But there are record labels out here.
Yeah.
They're like smaller though. Sub Pop, I think, would probably be the most notable one, but I really feel like I'm forgetting one.
Right. So I just think it comes down right now, like what I'm trying to do. It comes down to the media coverage. That's like one of the number one things, because we have a talent. Do you think Seattle's still like a rock type city, or do you think it's turned into like a hip hop city, or what do you think?
It's a melting pot, man.
Yeah.
I think it's an everything city, and it always has been. Maybe we lean a little towards like the grungier kind of sounds, because we're a grungy city.
Yeah.
But the internet has really changed all that shit, man. Like I've seen people making waves in all different types and forms of music from out here. You know, there's a classical composer, Philip Peterson, you know, like, and he's got hits on hits on hits on hits on hits, bro. Like, you know, One Train by A$AP Rocky. Yeah. He played the strings for that.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
And he lives in Shoreline.
What?
You know, like, yeah, he's not far.
Huh.
And I say all that to say that, like, there's people making waves in all facets of music from out here. I don't know if we necessarily have like a Seattle sound, but maybe the Seattle sound is like you don't know what it's gonna be.
Ew.
You know?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you. Do you think you could describe the Seattle sound?
Not really, man.
Yeah. I think what I do think is when it comes to like artists that just want to start making music right now, that are just like wake up today and be like, okay, I want to make music in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're looking to like Little Mosey. So like these brand new artists who think they can be hot on SoundCloud and shit. Those are like the people who are following like the Little Mosey wave.
Yeah. Well, but like there's also like there's a Travis Thompson wave.
Yeah.
There's Paris Alexa wave. There's the Dave B wave.
Yeah.
Like, and those are all completely different artists, and they're all like really, really, really making moves out here. And that's why I say like I don't think you can really define Seattle sound. Not quite yet, because it's not like the 90s when like everything was rock, you know.
And MTV was fucking
a thing.
Yeah. So, because you just moved here like 3 years ago, do you consider yourself a Seattleite, or like when it comes to like
man,
representing?
I'm born and raised Tri-Cities first and foremost.
Yeah.
And if anything, I consider myself like, what's the word? I'm like a transport.
A transplant. That's what
yeah,
they call it.
transplant. Yeah, and that's I guess like most Seattleites are transplants now. Nobody's from Seattle,
right?
Because it's too fucking expensive, bro.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to like front like I've been here the whole time. And even like historically, like there's so much that I don't know that I'm really interested in knowing, especially like especially rap wise, like hip hop wise.
Yeah.
I feel like just being in Tri-Cities, I wasn't exposed to a lot of like the Seattle classic hip hop out here, like in the early 2000s and the late 90s. And I don't ever want to like come off like I know all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you think we have other legends in Seattle when it comes to hip hop besides Macklemore or Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Oh man, so many.
Like
So many.
Really?
Oh yes. Do you know who Brainstorm is? Brainstorm's a producer, rapper. He's mainly a producer now, but he's did records with Young Buck back in the day. He's produced for I think a couple TDE artists. He's got hits on hits on hits, man. Who else? Raz? Would you consider Raz a legend?
Well, he's newer still in a sense.
But he's been around forever.
Yeah.
You know, like I was 15, 16 when I first saw Raz. He came to Tri-Cities.
Dude, his song. He has a song with Pusha T. That's one of my favorite verses of all time. Have you heard that with them?
Is that Ain't Love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, Sir Mix-a-Lot ain't doing shit for me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I like Same Problems. You ever heard Same Problems?
I don't know if I have.
Oh man, that's a really good one.
He's pretty insane though. Does he even live in Seattle anymore?
Raz?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I see things like that. Like
I see him all the time.
I've never met him. I'm trying to. Kaz told me to reach out to his manager, and then like he's like, what you have to do is you follow her, then she'll add you back, and then you can find her email after she adds you back. You email her. I did all that steps, and I haven't heard shit back, so I don't know.
I really. That's like a man of the people, man. Like
Yeah.
I've seen him at a lot, especially lately. He's been pulling up to a lot of events. I consider him a legend. Veda Luciano, Blue Scholars.
Oh yeah.
You know, for sure.
Blimes
King
and Gab are still
Bleez.
really new.
Blimes and Gab, but Gab has been around forever too. I'm trying to think older than them
exactly.
though, like older than Nacho and Jarv. Damn, see, this is why I claim myself. I'm just a student, man. I'm
Right.
learning all this shit too.
We're all
You know what I'm
students.
saying? Like, and the history is so rich here.
Yeah.
And there for sure Seattle hip hop legends out here, but
Mm-hmm.
because like that I'm like a transplant,
Yeah.
you know, it's I don't know all the names off
Right.
top like that. But
You know what's really interesting? We were talking about Royce da 5'9" earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I just remembered on his newest album, he talks about Russell Wilson in one of his lines too. I was like, damn, he got Russell in there.
that's dope.
Russell, like he's like, I tell people, I feel like he's kind of the face of Seattle also.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Dude, and him and Sierra together.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my dream interview, getting them together in a room and interviewing them. Dude.
That'd be wild.
Dude, yeah, that's insane. I think, and they made that new football league called like the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
Have
The
you
Dragons.
followed that at all?
Not really. I know where the Dragons though.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but and they're making the NH. We're having a hockey league here too. And
I'm
shit.
excited for that. They're the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, much
Why-
better name.
Why are we all like serpent type things though?
I mean, the Kraken makes sense, kind of.
Because there's an
You
ocean
know,
nearby. Or?
yeah, like the water. The
Yeah.
Dragons, I'm kind of like,
I want a basketball
Why?
team back here.
yeah, nothing's gonna replace that.
Yeah, I feel like basketball and football are like the next thing to music when it comes to like celebrities in a way.
Mhm.
Because I can't really name.
Synonymous.
Yeah, I can't name I literally can't name a single NHL player.
Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, okay. Well, that's because he's like,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Isn't I think Ovechkin?
I don't even know. See,
Yeah,
I don't know
I don't
anything
know,
about
man.
hockey at all.
I'm excited to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go to a hockey game. That sounds lit.
So even though you're like newer here, I like to
Mm-hmm.
ask people this: if a record deal came along, would you move out to LA, or would you want to like build your name here in a sense? Like, because I'm all about building an empire here, but I know it's different when it comes to like artists. Like when a good opportunity comes up like
Mhm.
that.
Well, the thing you have to think about is if you get a record deal and they front you some money, are you going to be able to afford to fly to LA all the time and have these meetings where, like, you know, Beats and Apple Music
Yeah.
and like Tidal in New York, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to be able to fly out and do all that shit
Right.
and still sustain your money?
Yeah.
You know, so it would be, that's probably what would make me leave, you know, because it doesn't make sense to spend all this money flying when I could just live there, and like an Uber ride is like way cheaper than a flight.
Yeah.
You know.
What are your dreams when it comes to like, music? Like, is it even a dream for people now to still get signed, or are people more focused on being independent? Is it just the dream to like have a huge fan base, or?
I think for me, because like I just love creating music, and if I could get to a place where I make my living, you know, I pay off my house or whatever off of music,
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. Like I don't have to be fucking Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
or like the #1 rapper in the world. You know, that stuff is all awesome, and I love rocking shows and all that.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about music is the creative process.
Right.
And so if I could ever get to a point where that's all I'm doing is creating music that I love, you know, because like if I'm creating some bullshit to get paid, like I don't want to do that either. You know what I'm saying? But if I could get to a point where like I'm just doing what I love, creating songs, then I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't have to rock a sold out crowd of 1 million people or something like crazy like that, which would be dope, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, like I would love that, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But like that's not like I'm trying to be the best rapper
Yeah.
ever, you know.
Best ever.
Yeah.
No one can beat me.
And like I say that to like I'm competitive when I rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna treat my verses like I'm the best ever,
Yeah.
but I don't aspire to like be like the greatest to ever do it. That's not what I'm looking toward.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the importance to you of like these festivals we have here, like Capitol Hill Block Party or Bumper Shoot?
Festivals are kind of weird for me because like I wish that they would cover local acts more.
Yeah.
And I also wish that they were a little less white. And the reason why I think that they look really, really white, like you've seen Coachella, bro, like the front row, it's all white people, like probably 20, 25. But the reason I think that happens is because tickets are so damn expensive, bro. So I would like to see more affordable festivals. And I would also like to see these local artists that are shaping the culture out here recognize more, you know. And like it's dope to see my homies on the stage, but like I'm trying to see my homies like with like a decent slot on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them a fucking 10 a.m. show or something like that.
I
like,
see what you mean there.
That's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
I think we need those festivals, but I would like to see them become a little less gentrified, and I'd like to see them recognize local talent and appreciate it a little more.
Yeah, I see that a lot. That's a really good point. I don't know. I just feel like that's so weird to me. Like how Seattle's just kind of weird about helping these local artists right now. It's changing slowly, I feel like, but like when it comes to like the radio stations, the 93.3 coming up. Oh, it's at 11 p.m. on fucking Sunday night.
They
shit
come
like
up,
that.
which is no longer.
See?
You know, shout out to Casey Carter.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, bro. I was like, yo, I gotta get a freestyle on there because I know I would eat. And then I kept fucking just being like, nah, I'm gonna wait. And now I waited too long. So.
But that shouldn't even have to be a sentence, you know?
Facts.
So that's just, it's just building genuine connections and like making these, and that's like my whole goal. Like I said, like I think, I thought radio was where I want to be, which it is, like in the sense like the generalization of radio. But being in commercial radio, you have to be PC. You have to. They basically tell you what you kind of have to say.
Talking points.
Yeah, like that's why Jubal from like the 92.5, he's like has his own podcast now called the Podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah, shit like
I
that.
love Jubal, man. He's so funny.
Yeah. That was my first ever interview, Brooke and Jose. Oh, God.
Jose's the one that's like always laughing.
Yes!
Right?
Oh, God, he's so nice. And Brooke, she's like, she is a mom, but she's just that, she gives that mom energy of just being so loving and nice. But it's things like that. Like, I don't want to be like a commercial clown.
Yeah,
Fuck
for
that.
sure.
So I think I think we need to build media, and like, I don't know, I feel like videographers need to get more love too, even because I really don't know any, and like you said, there's not really any black videographers either.
Yeah, and shout out to Lex Shoots. I don't want to undermine him, but that could come from my own ignorance as well. Yeah, because I'm sure there's black videographers out here, but it's a big part of the world.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Do you know Jordan Nicholson?
I don't.
Oh my God! This dude is in Seattle, and he's like shot for like huge acts in Seattle, and like fucking probably like Drake or some shit like that. He's shot for huge people.
Yeah.
And this dude, let me show you him quickly. He has no arms, and he's like taking everyone's like fucking. He's taking everyone's like all these shoots from people, and I'm like, damn. See, he's like one of the most well-known people in Seattle because of that. And look at this guy.
Dang. What?
And he's taking your bitch, you know? Like,
wow.
it's like him and like Chase Fade, basically. Like when you think of like huge people, and this guy has like 25,000 followers.
That's crazy. Jake Hill too.
Yeah, see, like that's people don't even know who Jake Hill is, but I need to. That's the thing.
He shot for Raz for a long time.
Okay, yeah. See, it's things like that. It's just it's coming together, but I still think 2020 for some reason is just going to be a huge year for Seattle. Doesn't mean everyone's going to pop off this year, but it's huge changes are coming.
Believe it.